All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the Survivor Palisades episode 3 after show. I'm Emmett, the creator, producer, and host of Survivor Palisades, and I am joined with the wonderful recapping team who has been with us week after week. We are now a third of the way done through this season. Woo, but there's a lot more Survivor to come. Today I'm joined by Baylor. Baylor, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. We are outside today. We've moved outside. I'm ready to talk about this crazy episode because it was so good.
Next up, we have Bella repping the Billabong shirt. Bella, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. This might have been my favorite episode so far, so I can't wait to talk about it.
Amazing. And last but not least, the host of Survivor Oregon, Hunter. Hunter, how are you doing? Is that a Georgetown hoodie?
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Yeah, got to represent. I'm doing well. I'm very glad Ella Rose didn't go home on her birthday week. That would have been sad.
There you go. Happy belated birthday to Ella Rose. It was yesterday. If you did not wish Ella Rose a happy birthday, what are you doing? You gotta go do that. Totally just kidding. But yeah, can't wait to talk about all things episode 3. And what a crazy episode. I mean, absolutely bonkers. So much that I'm excited to share from like a production side of what it was like being there on that day and being being on the crew and really not knowing what was going to happen in that situation. It was crazy. But let's get started. Episode 3. We sort of get the previously on Survivor. We see sort of Chloe's perspective, and then we jump into the camp time where we see Vanessa and Dylan sort of rehashing part of their feud, which sort of is set up for the end of the episode. We see Vanessa bring up flying too close to the sun again, and then we see little Anna and Dylan idol hunt. Baylor, talk to me about that beginning part of the episode. What were you thinking? What were you feeling? Talk me through it.
Honestly, I was just thinking that everything was up in the air. I think there was a lot of I was just nervous for the immunity challenge. I was nervous because I one because of my draft, but two, I just knew whoever lost it was gonna be carnage. I knew it was gonna be good, so I was really just I was just nervous.
Baylor, remind the audience who's on your team.
I have pretty much everyone from Yara except for Sarah. So I have Stratton, Chase, Chloe, and who's my and Sean. Sean, yeah.
What were you thinking, Bella? Did you enjoy Dylan's little idol hunt and the branch breaking of Anna? I thought that was so funny.
Yes, no, I couldn't tell if like he was trying to like form something with her or he was just trolling because like obviously he had the idol. So I was like, maybe he's gonna tell her, maybe not. But yeah, I liked it. And then yeah, because I'm only down right now for my team, Ella Rose and Dylan. So I was just hoping that their team would not win the immunity challenge. Pretty much.
Yeah, I have Vanessa on my team, so RIP Vanessa, my first draft team lost. But Anna was also on my team, so I was going to lose someone either way. And so I really liked seeing what Dylan was doing this week. But I also like that Anna kind of just like when she thought he had the idol, she's never afraid to confront someone. And I think that it makes for fabulous television. So I'm very thankful that she is here still.
Yeah, speaking of trolling, there's quite a lot of that with the idol on both sides this episode. We see both Chloe and Dylan sort of posing on their tribe, just laughing to the camera's face about having the idol, and I just think that's just such a fun like part of Survivor. So let's jump into the challenge. We see Catalina gets voted out, and we sort of hear Chloe's perspective on this. We talked last week about was this the right move for Chloe? After seeing this episode, would you guys say that it was the right move? Was it not? What do you think, Baylor?
Honestly, I think I was a little apprehensive last week because I was scared she was just kind of gonna follow in Sean's footsteps and kind of do what he wanted. But she had a confessional this week where she was talking about how like the next time something like this happens, she's gonna do something for herself and do something for the betterment of her game. And so while I don't think it was the best move for her last week, I do have hopes that like it does set her up to kind of blindside someone else this week, or in the next week, upcoming weeks when she has the chance to.
What do you think, Bella?
Yeah, I think last week I was definitely thinking that voting off Catalina benefited the guys on Yara more than Chloe, but I understand her not wanting to rock the boat too early because that might have put a bigger target on her back. And I think she still has enough control where if something like this were to happen again, and let's say her or Sarah were to be the targets, she would do something to make sure that didn't happen.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like it wasn't ideal if she could have found an easy way to keep Catalina. Obviously, that would have been better so she could maintain all her relationships. But I don't think it would have been worth the risk of playing her idol or like shaking things up super dramatically. Because right now, those five seem pretty chill with each other. And with the potential merge coming, I think that she'll recover fine.
What do we think about the Yara tribe in general? I mean, just going through them, we see the whole final five thing, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about it right now. But really interesting tribe. We talked about their passiveness a lot, but how they're all really active in confessionals. There's really difference in how they play towards each other versus towards the camera. What is going to happen with this tribe when we go to emerge? They seem so in unison, but also so against each other in secret, and it's a really confusing mix of five people. Where do we think that's going to go? And say they did lose the challenge this week, do you think we would have lost one of Sarah or Chloe, or maybe one of Stratton or Sean, or maybe Chase? What would that look like? Lot of stuff there.
Yeah, so honestly, when I think the merge comes, which assuming it's next episode, I do think Yara will go after each other. I think it's going to be a fight for who can grab Sele and get their votes, and I do think it's going to be interesting to watch that. I do think it's going to be a fun episode next week. I do think obviously Chloe and Sarah have the advantage because they have the idol, so they can use that. Especially, I think this is a crucial time to use that idol, honestly, because it's like it'll set up for the rest of the game or a good portion of it. But as of right now, if they lost the immunity this episode, honestly, I could definitely see, like, I think we were talking about this last week. They would go after Stratton, Chase, and Sean would go after Sarah, and then I think Chloe would use her idol, and then that would just be chaos. But yeah, that could also happen next week as well.
What do you think, Bella?
If Yara were to lose immunity, I honestly have no idea who would have been voted out, because I feel like the immediate target would have been Chloe, but she does have the idol. So I'm not sure who would have been voted out there. And then I don't think they're going to stay five strong, because even just thinking about back to last episode, Stratton was already talking about how he has, people on the Sele tribe that he was wanting to work with. So I think Sarah and Chloe, I could see them somewhat staying together, but as a unified five, no.
I feel like what happens with Yara, either next episode or the merge, is going to be really dependent on Stratton and people's view of Stratton, just because I think that he is still going to have this like looming threat as the most recent winner, who played very well in David vs. Goliath, but he also has that connection, which was mentioned with Ella Rose on the other tribe. And so I think it really depends on if people are wanting to kind of jump on that, or if the red tribe, like Sean, I think is going to want to try to keep Stratton around and keep his shields around for longer. But I feel like the girls are probably going to be threatened by that, and there might be kind of an anti-Stratton, like threatened by Stratton sentiment. So I really think that he's kind of going to be the focal point of what happens with that tribe.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more really quickly, and then we'll jump back into the episode about Ella Rose and Stratton's relationship. We see in the preview something said, but where do we think that they're going to fall in terms of their relationship?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to join together, especially now that Vanessa's gone. It's because if you think about it, Ella Rose doesn't really have anyone on Sele anymore. She's kind of alone now. So I think she's going to have to need someone to gravitate towards during the merge. And I think Stratton is the perfect person to gravitate towards because they were so close in David versus Goliath. So I do think she will head for Stratton next episode.
What did you think, Bella?
I think that her and Stratton are probably going to end up pairing up because she did just lose Vanessa, like Baylor said. The only thing is that's just such an obvious pairing. I don't know how everyone else will respond to that, or if they will just sit and let that happen, because obviously, they ran all the way to the end in Davis versus Goliath. So it's really going to depend on, I guess, how everyone else views them. I could also see her trying to work with Chloe again if Stratton doesn't, not Chloe, with Sarah again if Stratton doesn't work out.
I'm really hoping that Sarah or Ella Rose goes and tries to work with Sarah more. Maybe that's just like, again, what I want to happen. But I also think it'd be better for her because, like Bella was saying, that Stratton Ella Rose combo is very obvious. And I think that what Ella Rose needs is to kind of blend in more and find her place with some quieter allies rather than sticking out. Because I think her reputation is going to end up being a problem for her as they get closer to the end game. And I'm hoping that her and Sarah can come together to get revenge on Stratton and then go further together.
Awesome. All right, let's keep talking about the episode. Some funny moments in the challenge. One of my favorite moments in the challenge is, I was saying it before we went live, is one of my favorite moments maybe in all of Survivor Palisades. Maybe that's crazy to say. Just Anna saying, like, when they're struggling with the poll and going, does anyone fish? Like, that is so funny to me. I don't know why. I think that's the funniest thing ever. We see Sean knocking down all the other team's blocks. But in the end, Yara ends up winning immunity. Were you guys rooting for Yara to win, or did you want a Sele win?
I wanted Sully win. Just because half my team is there.
I was the exact opposite. I wanted Yara to win just because my entire team is over there.
Most of my team is on Sele, but I did want them to lose because I just wanted to see what those dynamics would be going to Tribal and what happened with Dylan's idol. So sorry, Vanessa, but also, Evan, I want to say I really liked this challenge, especially the puzzle at the end. I thought was really unique. I like those kind of more logic puzzles, and so I really liked seeing them try to figure that out.
Thank you. Go ahead, Baylor.
I was going to say the same thing. I think the puzzle was like impressive, especially because it's like not a huge budget thing. Like it's super easy to make, but it's still like you really have to think about how it adds up. So I think it's like that was a really smart, like clever way to have a good puzzle.
Thank you. That puzzle was a nightmare. Like painting, so we had to 3D print all those blocks, which we were able to do for free, but then painting them took like hours. Like that, it was a nightmare painting those blocks and making the white look good on the inside, and that was a whole thing. And the texture was hard. I was actually just talking with Bella before you guys got here on the call about how this challenge, well, for one, I'll just say this. So almost like 98% of this season is fully edited, but there are some bits and pieces of episodes that aren't edited because when we premiered this in Los Angeles, we didn't premiere a 5.5-hour season. So one of those things was this challenge. So I edited this entire challenge on Tuesday. It took me like 12 hours or 8 to 12. It was a nightmare. And so I wouldn't say this is my best editing, but I was also saying, I don't think the challenge is very marketable for TV because it's like once you get it, you get it. But I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it and found it interesting because you can't really track the progress as a viewer on this. But I'm glad that you guys found it interesting. A lot of why like we have these challenges in the beginning that are like throwing and dragging and looking is like for really good intro shots. Like love seeing them crawl or throw something or it looks good for the intro, but so that's why those beginning elements came, and then we thought equalize it by a puzzle. But talking about that puzzle, like Sarah and Stratton, like don't mess with them on puzzles. They're 2-0, like they're killing it on that puzzle game. So yeah, I was impressed that day watching them work together and do those puzzles, especially compared. We see right now with oh my gosh, what's the tribe name? Kella on 49.
Oh.
Yeah, I just can't do a puzzle, and I think I'm not saying Sela is in the exact same capacity, but
like not to talk about Real Survivor, but I was kind of joking when he had the medical. Hopefully everyone's seen it. I was joking. Yeah. I was like telling my dad, I was like, it'd be funny if they lost and they have to put someone else, and then they actually lost, and I was like,
Baylor, me too.
No, I was like, oh my god, that's actually horrible. I felt. Anyway, continue. Just had to let that out.
To go on that note, I find this tribe really interesting because they don't really like emotionally. I'm not sure they have the sort of underdog tribe status, like feel that like a lot of other ones do. Like they don't feel like they're really losing. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it quite yet, but
they're kind of boring.
They're just bad.
I don't
root for them per se.
I wouldn't say like I'm like really enjoying Alex and Sophie, and I love Jeremiah, and I loved Annie and Nicole. I like them all. I
loved Jeremiah.
I don't see them as like underdogs very much. Like they're just not the type of people like Emily and Caleb. You see them, you're like these are underdogs. Like you know what I mean. But I didn't feel like I feel like Alex and Sophie are just such successful people that it's like I still don't see you as like the underdog in the story because you're just like running the game. Like the dynamics were so clear and like not fluid at all on the tribe. So it was pretty clear to me what was happening. But speaking of Jeremiah, really quick side note. I was going into the season like, okay, I think he's gonna be like an okay like castmate, like he's gonna be fun, he's gonna give good TV, but I did not expect him to be. He's like such a unique combination of like unserious and like strategic and like sarcastic and a little bit evil, and I just thought he was so funny. Like I just love
Yeah.
Jeremiah. I'm so mad that he got voted out. Oh, him laughing at
Booted
Annie's.
fourth place.
I know.
The curse of the evil
Yeah.
gays getting voted out
I know.
fourth every
I
season.
know. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Sean's
Yes.
impact.
Emmett, how long did it take them to do the puzzle? I was
my
playing
God.
along at home trying to figure it out.
This challenge
Um,
took this challenge was like 15 minutes long. Like it was a
Oh, wow.
really long challenge. Like
Okay.
that hook thing alone probably took 6 minutes for them to get at the beginning. Like Yara was horrible at throwing. Like
Why
we
was the
went
hook so hard?
I don't know. I thought it was easy. Like okay, I'm not trying to this is really funny. There's footage of me testing the challenge. I'm showing, when you run through, we explain the
Yeah.
challenge for the camera and then we stop and we explain it all to them. I showed them the hook and I landed it on the first try. And then during the challenge, they're all like, Emmett, how did you do that? Like, how did you do that? So I'd like my moment in the spotlight. I was very proud of that. I got it.
Post the
footage.
footage.
Yeah,
Yeah, post
I will.
footage.
I have the footage. I can show it with you guys. But yeah, the challenge took a long time. Yara was really not good at knocking over the hoops. Like I think you hear the audio bit. Like Chase misses again. Like he had missed like 5 times. Like every single person on the tribe got the try. They were all missing. So it was like it was edited quickly, but it took a long time. But the puzzle flew by. I'd say they did the puzzle in 3 to 4 minutes. Like they were very quick with that. So
Also, Sean knocking over half of Cele's.
more than
Yeah.
half. Yeah, he knocked over 4 out of the 6. So good. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go back after the challenge. Let's talk about Cele's dynamics. I mean, I think what an interesting like flow of linearity on how they got to the vote. Cele, I think I've said this privately without context, is my favorite Survivor Palisades tribe ever, and I think you probably can understand now why. I think like pre-merge you can easily understand that. They are just an absurd combination of strategic and emotional and sometimes stubborn and just really interesting Survivor players in a really good way, and I just love seeing them play the game. I think the Girls Alliance, these 4 on Survivor Palisades, are like a fascinating case study because they just do not like trust each other at all, and they somehow like work and vote together every time. Like they don't trust each other, but it still gets done. Let's just talk about like going through and through of this. So we start. Dylan talks about going home. You hear Abigail talking about how she wants to manage this vote by keeping her trust in both sides, but making sure to talk to everyone. Then we get into a segment of Ella Rose saying Abigail's name to Anna. What do you guys think of that?
I honestly I was a little scared because I knew Anna was gonna go right to Abigail. So honestly, I was scared for Ella Rose. But I mean that's the thing is Ella Rose is playing the good game. Like she should be doing that because I do think there was a big chance for Anna to make that jump first to like Vanessa and trying to go for Ella Rose. So I think like it's not a fault to Ella Rose. It's just the fact that Anna is more loyal to Abigail and she,
What do you think, Bella?
Yeah, that definitely scared me because at least like watching the season, like the line seems so divided. Like it seems like everyone kind of knows their place. I'm like, I don't think she's gonna just come over that easily, but it was like worth a shot. And then like the way I don't know, it was just so funny because everyone kept going on their own, but then they're like, but we're good, right? And everyone was like, yeah, we're good. And then they would go and do the same thing all over again.
I did think it was actually a big mistake from Ella Rose just because I was thinking of the scenario of like if like from her perspective if Dylan plays the idol, I don't think that she was going to be the target in almost any situation, and so I feel like she should have recognized the Anna Abigail relationship and known it would have gone back to her, and so I was really worried in that moment that the girls were going to completely break and Dylan wouldn't even have to play his idol, but that didn't happen. So.
Do you guys think that this could come back to bite Ella Rose now that she doesn't have Vanessa say on the tribe and the sort of and a tribe of 4? There's like the leading power dynamic would just be the 2 in some context. So Anna and Abigail still having each other is probably a better power position than Ella Rose or Dylan having no one. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think it is because like I think it would have been very good if the girls of Cele were able to stick together after the merge, but since there's like that big crack in the so-called alliance, I do think they are going to try and split to opposite sides of the boat next episode. I think there's a good chance of that happening. And it could be for one of them. The vote could be one of them, honestly. Like if Yara sticks together like they're saying they will, it could be either Abigail or Ella Rose.
What do you think, Bella?
I think this could come back to bite her just because, especially since Dylan did vote out Vanessa, I feel like that makes me think he's more open to working with Anna and Abigail, even though Anna was like totally trashing him at the challenge. Just I don't know. It didn't make me think he necessarily wanted to work with Ella Rose unless he saw himself replacing Vanessa in some sort of light. But yeah, assuming that the merge is next week, I am kind of worried for her if Yara truly does stray 5 together.
I think that Elrose definitely has the potential to recover. I think that if she goes back to camp and talks to Anna and Abigail and is just like trying to like reassure that they can still work together. Like it sucks that Dylan played the idol and Vanessa went home, but like we're still good. I definitely think that the girls would be willing to kind of jump back in with her. But I think that if they see her at like the merge going over with Stratton, kind of like we were saying earlier, I could see them being threatened by that and then being like, oh, well, she was already throwing Abigail's name out. So we really can't trust her.
All right, so we see after this, we see a sort of funny moment, Vanessa and Dylan just continuing their sort of banter back and forth. I'm happy that you're happy to be here. Following that, we see Abigail and Vanessa actually sort of bridge the gap together. We talked about the girls separated and then they come together. Vanessa has a really good read here. And honestly, I would argue maybe her best move this season was reuniting the girls this episode. She had a lot of pull in this situation. She was able to get Abigail, and you could also argue Abigail did the same, to sort of see her side and just to be able to have a really open conversation about the dynamics of the four of them and realize why it is better. I would say that was a really impactful conversation, like one of the most necessary or important in this episode. What did you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think it is her best move. I think it's a little sad because I wish I saw more from Vanessa. Maybe next season, but no, I definitely do think it's her best move. I think it was very dangerous if they were to, because I think Ella Rose is obviously Vanessa's best ally. So I do think, yeah, it was good for Vanessa to do that, even though she is gone now. But
yeah, if Dylan wouldn't have played his idol, I think this would have put her in a really good spot because obviously she would have still been Ella Rose's number one, but she probably would have been more favored among Anna and Abigail opposed to Ella Rose. So I think if she would have got past this vote, going into the merge, it would still be hard because we obviously did hear Yara talking about, I forget who said it, but they were saying, who do we not want to work with? And they did say Vanessa.
It was Stratton.
But it was Stratton, yeah. She did say, I specifically say I did not want to work with Vanessa, but at least among the Cele tribe, it was the best thing she could have done.
Yeah, I was impressed. Although I was curious, I didn't quite catch like where did the distrust between Abigail and Ella Rose come from? Because like that was kind of the point of potential separation. Like both of them were saying each other's names. But like why did they not trust each other?
That's a good question. I think Ella Rose was sort of saying like if we're going off the challenge, like Abigail was the weakest in the challenge. I don't know. I couldn't quite pick Ella Rose's brain into why she said that. If I were to guess, I'm sure she realized the dynamics of the tribe and how her and Abigail were sort of in similar positions on opposite ends and how she would probably want to take that power position away. That would be my guess. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Yeah.
That's fair. And I guess knowing that Dylan and Abigail do have a past relationship, kind of saying that like if Dylan sways somewhere, it might be with them. So I guess it's a fair hesitation from Ella Rose.
Also, I was thinking about this too. Maybe Ella Rose is thinking, because I was thinking this, Abigail and Sean are siblings, so I do think they will
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think she's
I
thinking that
also forgot
Abigail.
about that.
Yeah, she's thinking that Abigail will have a lot more power once the merge hits, and so I'm thinking that's probably might be a big reason too.
All right, so we see the four girls inevitably decide to come together. Then we see sort of Vanessa spearhead this plan. She talks about wanting to play a little more laid back, but then she sort of took it upon herself, her and Ella Rose, to be the pair to try to lie to him. Was this the right move for Vanessa? Should she have let Abigail and Anna sort of take the lead here? What did you guys think about this decision? And did you think that? I mean, she's a pretty good liar, and like there were some moments out like the whole like should we do the sniff thing? Do we need a signal? I was like that's gonna get that would get someone on the real show. So what did you guys think about all this? We'll start with Baylor.
No, yeah, I definitely thought. I mean, them doing it, I agree. It was definitely very convincing. I think the episode showed Dylan like really like considering like maybe he does have a group. Maybe he should be voting Yeah, Anna. Were they saying to vote Anna or Abigail?
Anna.
Anna.
Yeah, I think he was definitely thinking that, and so I do think they were very good. But at the end of the day, I do think it should have been Anna and Abigail. I think they should have pushed for them to convince Dylan to think that, because then it kind of makes them the bad guys instead of Vanessa and Ella Rose.
What do you think, Bella?
I thought it was good for her to try to do it, just like in case anything suspicious started happening where maybe Abigail and Anna did want to vote one of them off, like they were the ones working who Dylan thought that he was working with. So I thought it was smart, and just like, starting to like really get in the game, especially if they're anticipating the merge happening next week. I understood why she wanted to go ahead and start kind of making her mark.
I agree that Vanessa is a very capable liar. I feel like she was the wrong person to try to convince Dylan, though, just because we see that Dylan already had these like preconceived ideas about Vanessa and already viewed her as like sneaky and strategic. And so I feel like if you already are contemplating playing your idol, and then the person trying to convince you is someone who you don't view as trustworthy anyways, it's probably not going to be super effective. And so I agree that it should have been Anna and Abigail.
All right, so going into that challenge, did you guys think that that Dylan was going to play his idol? I have a lot to say about what I thought was going to happen there, but I mean, for one thing about Dylan is he's so hyperbolic and he's such a good narrator. Like he's going to give you the drama and give you one-liners and give you metaphors, and so I can never really tell what he's really thinking or what he's not, because he's like, they're pitching to me and it's exactly what I wanted, but they know they're gonna throw me a bone and all this stuff. It's so fun to edit. He's just so well spoken. But what did you guys think? Did you think Dylan was playing the idol?
I had absolutely no idea, and I was actually quite frightened if he it's like one of my biggest I cannot watch when someone has an idol and gets sent home with an idol. Like it actually makes me like I can't watch my TV. It's horrid. And so it's like I was mortified if he wasn't going to use it, and I was hoping so much. It was kind of that with Hunter, what Hunter says. Like I was hoping he played it, so I thought like he has to play it, and he did. Thank God. But there was a time for a good like 25 seconds where I was like, he's not playing his idol, and I can't watch this.
Go ahead, Bella.
I felt like I didn't know for sure either way, like what he was thinking, because he said a lot of different like ideas, but I was also hoping he would just play it, because I also hate when people like have idols and don't play it.
Yeah.
And he knew that there was a chance, like he knew that there was a good chance the girls were working together, or that his name would come up naturally just because he was the only guy left. So I felt like it made the most sense for him to play the idol, even if it like wasn't going to be him.
I thought they were gonna get him. I love it is painful to watch when someone goes home with an idol, but I also love like seeing another group, a majority group, convince the person on the bottom to not use their advantage so they can still vote them out. I was hoping it was gonna happen this week in Survivor 49, and it didn't. So I thought it was gonna happen here. I thought the girls were gonna pull through and convince him. But it didn't happen. It didn't work.
All right, so Dylan. Well, let's talk about the tribal council a little bit before we jump into the vote. I guess I would say this was one of my favorite tribal councils to be like, I don't know, the journalist at, you could say, the host at. I thought they were really playing into the game and being very anecdotal. I already said hyperbolic. very very dramatic tribal council. Just even before the votes, they were giving really good one-liners. You see Anna accuse Dylan time after time in this episode of having an idol. What do you guys think about Anna's decision to do that? How is Anna consistently putting people and targeting people blatantly and outright and still not going home? How does that work?
That's a really good question. I don't have the answer for that. I really don't know because I truly thought Anna was going home this episode. I don't know how she does it, so I don't have an answer.
Go ahead, Bella.
I was like so shocked to see Vanessa's name down. I was like, what? Like, because Anna was like just coming for him the whole tribal, and then he didn't even put his name down. And then I was also thinking, because like obviously she was right about him having the idol. I was like, why are we not like splitting the vote or doing doing something? Because like obviously if you think he has the idol and he does play the idol, like logically I would think he's gonna put my name down because I'm the one coming at him. So I was just shocked all around.
It's because Anna's an icon. She's a diva. She's a legend, and I think that people are drawn to her authenticity. I think that they know that she is gonna like say it how it is, and that there's not gonna be a ton of secrets. And so I think that people like respect that and feel like that's something they would rather keep in the game than Vanessa, who's a lot sneakier and quieter. And so I think that's probably why he went with Vanessa instead.
So Dylan plays the
And
idol. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just ready to watch the next episode and see the aftermath of Anna talking to Dylan after she gave him the finger and trash talked. I'm just ready to see what she does because it was the funniest. Like I was cracking up. I literally like rewound and watched it again just to see what she was doing because it was so funny.
I think it's gonna bring them closer. Like I think that Anna's gonna want to work with Dylan now more moving forward. Just because like he could have voted her out easily. And so I don't know, maybe she'll like maybe it'll be a bonding moment for them. I would love them as like an odd duo. Or maybe she is just like, well, he's gonna go with the guys and then tries to target him.
All right, well, let's keep it rolling. So 1 vote Dylan, 2 votes Dylan, 3 votes Dylan, 4 votes for Dylan, 1 vote left. What was going through everyone's mind at this point? Did you guys think Anna was cooked? Did any of you guys like predict that Vanessa was going to get the vote here?
No,
No,
not at all.
And also, I was thinking, I was like, this is Ella Rose last season all over again. It's the same exact situation. I was just,
She got Aria.
it was awesome. Yeah, I know. It was just, I had no idea. Like, truly, I had no idea. I was shocked.
Shout out
I just
Aryav.
thought
He would have been great for this season too. That would have been super fun. We love Aryav here. Continue. Sorry.
I thought like I really did think it was gonna be Anna, but then I was like, oh, imagine how funny it would be if like Anna's doing all this and then it's not her and like Vanessa goes instead. And I'm glad that happened just because it's the funniest outcome.
What'd you think, Bella?
Yeah, I was completely shocked. I didn't see because obviously in the beginning of the episode they had brought up there was Vanessa and Dylan kind of bickering about the sun thing all over again. But by the time it got to tribal, I completely forgot about that all happening. And hearing Anna just come for him, giving him the finger, I was like, yeah, she's gone. But yeah, the editing was so good. It was amazing.
Thank you. It was really fun to subvert expectations on this one. And I think all 3 of those characters made it really easy. They all just like played into that so much. I didn't think that Vanessa was going home. He didn't say that in any confessional. I think just sitting there at tribal really made him think. And a lot of comments were like, damn, I didn't know Dylan had that in him. I didn't know that's the type of Survivor player he was. Did Dylan rise in your guys' like winning potential or just like his player potential after this episode? Did you guys think Dylan was going to be able to be capable of something like this preseason? What are your guys' thoughts?
I did not. No, I definitely underestimated Dylan's his ability to play. I was actually very pleasantly surprised. And honestly, I'm excited to see where he goes during the merge.
Yeah, I was very surprised he did this. And I think you even asked him during the tribal, like, does this make you like, want to work with Anna or anything? And he was like, absolutely not. So Like, so seeing him like not write her name, like I was so surprised. So surprised.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Yeah.
What? So you knew Vanessa? You know the votes before you read them, right? You've said that
Correct.
before.
Yes.
So what's going through your mind when you see Anna just absolutely going for Dylan while you're reading the votes?
I'm gonna be honest. I did not even notice. Like, I did not notice when I was reading the votes. Like, I don't remember that until the only thing I remember, because I when I'm reading the votes, I'm like in my head. I try not to look at them sometimes too directly, because it I don't want to give anything away, and also I'm on this is weird. Like, I'm not thinking of the exact music track I'm gonna play this to, but I like to in my head just have a 1 and 2 and 3, just to just hold the votes longer, just draw it out so that the reactions are more earned and everything. So I don't really Anna was in the back, and I don't think I saw her flip them off, and I don't think I heard her say dick or asshole because it was so far away. But I really do remember, of course, Anna just absolutely grabbing Dylan and hugging him after the vote. That was a distinct memory. But yeah, I mean, going through my mind, so I learn what's going to happen pretty much when I go to the urn. That's when I figure out what's going to happen. When I go tally the votes, I know. And I think the exception for that would have been if I went to go tally the votes and it would have said 4 for Dylan and 1 for Anna. I still wouldn't have known, because it would have come down to Dylan's idol. But when I saw Vanessa's name there, I knew Dylan knew what he was doing, and I knew Dylan was going to play the idol, obviously, because why would he have strayed from either of the, or from the plan that was discussed? So I was absolutely flabbergasted. I had no idea that was going to happen. I think it was absolutely it was just, I mean, we'll get to what you guys think about it, but I thought during that day, I thought it was, just based on his social relationships, a very brilliant move and a very good opportunity to take the time to do something like that. But let's jump into that. What did you guys think? Did you think this was the right move from Dylan out of the other 4? Do you think there was a better name? What did you guys think?
Honestly, I get why he went after Vanessa, but I do think it would have been very good for him to take out someone like Abigail or Ella Rose, because he's kind of just going after the ones that cause all the drama and the ones that kind of follow the other 2. And so I do think, while it was a crazy good, shocking move, I do think it would have been more beneficial to take out someone like Abigail for Dylan.
What do you think, Bella?
I can see a world where he would have done Abigail, but I don't think Vanessa was a bad move or anything, because they weren't going to work together. I think their dynamic was just, I didn't get the vibes that they were ever going to really click on anything. So going into the merge, if he's thinking who is willing to work with me, Vanessa wasn't an option, so might as well get her out.
I agree that they definitely were going to work together, and I think that she does pose a bigger threat to him in the future. But also, and he didn't know this, but we saw in the episode that Yara was talking about when they were talking about the other tribe and the merge, that they were we don't trust Vanessa, we don't want to work with Vanessa. And so I think that she could have been a great buffer when they get to the merge for Dylan. And maybe provided more of an opportunity for him to jump over to the other side. But I don't think that it outweighs the risks that Bella pointed out of just she would have continued to come for him.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the remaining 4. So the last duo we have left here is Abigail and Anna. What do you guys? We haven't really touched on this. What do you guys think about Abigail and her perspective? Are you guys rooting for her? Are you impressed by her gameplay? Where do you think she lies in this tribe in terms of safety? Start with you, Hunter.
I really like the Abigail Anna duo. I think that Abigail is the type of strategic player that I really like to watch. Just a little more under the radar and sneaky, but not outwardly scheming in the way that Vanessa does. And so I think that she stands a really good chance, and she's really good at challenges. And I like her pairing with Anna, who's just always going to cause the drama. And so I like the 2 of them, and I don't think that they're going to be huge targets whenever the tribes do merge, which we've been talking about as if it's next week, which I'm still guessing, but again, we don't know. And so I really like that pairing, and I think that Abigail's probably in a pretty safe spot for a while, whether it's merging or this tribe going back to tribal.
What do you think, Bella?
We kind of talked about this before, but going in, I did not think Abigail and Anna were gonna be a pairing, but I love them so much. I don't know. It's just they like mesh together, I guess, very well. They like help each other's um different personality traits. So yeah, I think Abigail is probably in the best spot in this tribe right now because not Gage, Dylan is still, the only guy. And going into the merge, I think there's still gonna be more girls than guys, right?
It'll be 5 girls, 4 guys. And really quickly,
Yeah.
let me just cut you off and confirm. In the next time on Survivor, we do see the merge. I'm gonna play it super quick for the screen.
Okay.
Oh, I missed that.
Those little fuckers. I'm a player. I don't get played. Drop your box. We are merged.
Oh, okay. Confirmed.
Okay. Confirmed merge.
Oh, is that the plank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red's gonna take everyone out. I want him to know I can come for him this time. I was voted out because.
Thoughts?
Wait, maybe I didn't even see that. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't remember watching that, honestly.
Go ahead, Bella. Sorry, I cut you off though. You were talking.
But yeah, no, you're good. I think I was saying like there's gonna be 5 to 4, five. You were saying five girls, 4 guys. So even that, I think is gonna benefit her. So yeah.
What do you think, Baylor?
Yeah, I definitely do think. I think Abigail is the biggest threat to win next to Chloe. I think they are like 2-2, like they are the strongest players in the game right now. On opposing tribes, I definitely do think she's in by far the best spot on Sele. What I was gonna say something else too. Oh yeah, I think honestly it is. I've been thinking about it while you guys have been talking. I think the two that are most at risk next episode is Stratton and Anna. I think because Stratton's going to have a lot of heat on him because he's a winner, and I think people are definitely going to start looking at him next episode. And then I also think the boys will grab onto Dylan, and with the relationship with Chloe already with the boys, I do think Anna is a common denominator of the last person to kind of just go home if that happens. So I do think those two are at biggest risk to go home, and I do see Abigail kind of intermingling very well, especially because she's siblings with Sean. Like she's going to be able to get in with the other tribe and go far. So I definitely think she's in probably the best spot in the game right now.
Yeah, can we talk about the sibling? Since we know merge is happening now, that's the point. Like Bella Falls thing. Like I completely forgot that Abigail and Sean are siblings, which is going to create a very interesting dynamic, which I can't wait to see. Do you guys think that they're gonna like work? Because like with siblings, honestly, it could go either way.
Yeah.
Like if I play a game with my sibling, I equally want to work with them, and also I'm like they're the person I think is going to turn on me first. And so I'm intrigued to see, like, what do you guys think is going to happen?
I would absolutely love to see a Sierra moment where, like, Sean votes out Abigail, Abigail votes out Sean. Like, that would be the highlight of the season, honestly. And I wouldn't stop talking about it. So I think that would be crazy. But honestly, I do see them working together. But at the same time, I do see people noticing that because they all know that they're siblings. So I do think that does create a huge target. So I didn't mention that, but I definitely think that's going to have a big riff probably later in the season.
Is it known, Emmett? Like, is it publicly known?
I don't want to spoil.
Some people certainly know, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's like half of the people know, I would say, or less. I don't think, like, once again, this is like a large group of people from all across LA County. So while some of them do know each other from a small community, a lot of them don't. And so if they didn't do their research themselves, obviously I'm not going to step in and.
Yeah.
I know if my brother was there, like I would not let him vote me out. Like you're not voting me out. Like you have to do what I tell you to.
Love it.
Yeah, I hope we get a sibling rivalry episode. That would be great.
Yeah. All right, let's continue talking about these dynamics going to merge. So we have 4 members of Sele. We have 5 members of Yara. We have a season that has been a little bit dictated by gender lines. Surprisingly, I did not expect that at all for this season, especially after David vs. Goliath was so dictated by not gender lines. What did you guys think about just going into this merge? We've talked about it. We have 5 Yara. We have 4 Sally. We have a playing challenge next. What's going to happen with Sally? Are they going to split? Are they going to work together? We talked Yara might split, but Do we think Sele is going to be able to muster up the strength to work together for a vote or two, or maybe all the way through? What do we think?
I honestly think Sele is going to split. I see it definitely. I think Yara is overall much stronger as a tribe. I think they're going to be able to stay together, and I do think one of the Sele members is at risk to go home. That's just my personal opinion, though.
Yeah, I think Sele's at like one of their players would go before a Yara player just because the numbers, and then also like just because there's 5 and then 4. I see Sele needing to trying to go and work with the Yara. So like I could see Dylan trying to go and work with the guys because that would be an obvious choice. And then I can see Ella Rose trying to go work with Sarah and then I don't really know for everyone. I don't know what's going to happen, honestly, at this point. So I'm just really excited.
Yeah, because like the merge is like it's the craziest. Like you never know what's going to happen on a merge.
Yeah.
It's very hard to kind of guess because I think it is going to be the most unpredictable episode.
And the merge is a nightmare to edit. Let me tell you, it is so much. Go ahead, Hunter. Yeah.
I honestly don't think that tribal lines are going to mean much anymore. I think it's going to be like a mad scramble. I think there are too many relationships crossing between tribes, and I think that all these players are way too self-interested, and the game is too quick. I don't think that they're going to be like, we have, like, I don't know, like maybe they do after a couple, but like they've only been there a couple hours at this point, so I feel like they're not going to be like, we have to stick with Yara. And so I think that these other relationships are going to form, and each player, especially I think a little more strategically attuned Yara players, are going to be like, what's the best path forward for me? And so I don't think that there's going to be too big of a tribal divide.
Let's dissect these 9 players. These 9 players left. I had something I was going to say, but I blanked. First of all, there are some connections that we haven't yet talked about. Let's discuss them. So from season 1, we have Sean, Abigail, and Dylan, all 3 season 1 players making the merge. Old school representation. Dylan and Stratton are the only 2 winners. Let's keep that in mind. We go to season 2. Dylan, Abigail, and Sean also all played on season 2, but add Anna into that mix. Anna was the first boot of season 2, then she comes back for season 3. I think part of the reason why Anna was also cursing people out is her first season she got idled out. Let's talk about Anna has a really unlucky track record. She gets idled out. She goes to the final 4 and draws the wrong rock. She doesn't have great Survivor twist or advantage luck, you could say. But we have Anna, who didn't actually in any way play with Dylan, Sean, or Abigail that season. They were on opposite tribes and she went home first. But she then comes back for Sabotage Island, where we have Sean there, Chloe there, Catalina, who is now gone, and Anna there. So Anna voted out Sean, the first merged tribal in Sabotage Island, as well as Chloe. Chloe and Sean were allies, but Chloe turned on Sean at that vote. And Chloe and Anna were allies pretty much until they were allies the entire rest of the game. So Chloe and Anna were allies for season 3. So that's something to keep in mind. Then we go to Dave vs. Goliath. Out of the 6 starting, only 4 made the merge. But the final 4 of Dave vs. Goliath are all still here in the merge. We have Chase, we have Sarah, we have Ella Rose, and we have Stratton. Talk about any of those dynamics that I just threw out if you have any on the top of your head there.
I think that would be crazy if it was Final 4 David versus Goliath. It'd be pretty cool. I do think I think the biggest threat is Sean and Abigail. I think those 2 are like going to be the force that everyone's going to want to take out. Maybe not next episode, but I think people are going to notice that those 2 are like together, and they're going to notice they're working together. And so I definitely do think it's going to be pretty fresh, especially later in the game.
Yeah, there's so many relationships you just named. I'm trying to keep track of them all in my head, but I think David and Goliath, like Baylor just said, the way all 4 of them, all final 4 still being there is pretty crazy. But I honestly don't know. I don't know between all of them, because what did Ella Rose say in the next time on Survivor? I kind of missed it.
She said, in relation to Stratton, I want him to know that I can come for him this time. If you missed that.
Yeah.
So, she's back.
There's like so many things. I'm trying to keep track of them all.
Yeah.
So that makes me think maybe not working together like as much as I thought so before, or maybe for now, next couple episodes, it could be a thing, and then in the future, I don't see her wanting to sit next to him at Tribal, Final Tribal again. So yeah, there's so many intertwined relationships. I don't know what's gonna happen.
If I had to guess as to where the pieces are going to fall, I feel like the most likely outcome is like the gender divide. Like you were saying earlier, the season's kind of been dictated by that on both tribes. Like we've really seen like the guys on Yara and the girls before they sacrificed Catalina, and then obviously the girls on Sele. And so I think that if there's any like obvious two sides forming, I could see it being the girls and the guys. Just because that trio of Yara guys feel like they want to stick together, and then Dylan would be an easy grouping up there. Whereas Chloe and Sarah, I think, are pretty tight, and then I could easily see them bringing in Anna with her and Chloe's relationship, and then Abigail and Ella Rose too. Ella Rose and Sarah definitely have that relationship as well, and so if I had to place my chips, I would put it on guys and girls.
Yeah, one more thing that you said too that I meant to touch on. You said something about them being only a few hours into the day. That's a good point. So the merge happens at hour 7 on a 15-hour shoot day. So we're only 3 votes in, but we're 7 hours in. So they've had time to sort of form relationships. But as you said, nothing is very certain in Survivor Palisades, especially with just how quick the game goes. All right, before we wrap up today, let's do a player of the episode, and then let's rank everyone on what we think their chances are. So I'll start with you, Bella. Who do you think is the player of the episode 3?
I'd say Dylan, just because he played his idol. He made the episode for me. Voting out Vanessa, I was very shocked. So definitely him, but I would also say Anna, because everything she said was cracking me up. So she can get a second place player of the episode for me.
Are you responsible for this on the player of the week module? Someone voted for Anna 128 times.
It might have been
It was not me.
I sent it to Anna, and she was like, "Oh my god, I love my fan."
One person voted them 128 times.
Yes, or like at least 120, because she was losing to Dylan before, and then I checked one day, and I checked like 2 hours later, and it was at 128. Someone voted for Gage 1,000 times last year for the player of the episode or something. So for the player of the season. So Gage was the player of the season for David versus Goliath because of that. So yeah, straw poll. I don't know. Go ahead, Hunter. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, I agree with Bella said. I think that Dylan was the player of the episode. There's really no one else I can give it to.
Yeah, I agree. I give it to Dylan and also Anna second place. I think this was a very Dylan centered. This was Dylan's episode. Like this was his to win. Like it was his episode. So yeah.
All right, let's start looking at this cast and talk about where we think they're going to land. We didn't actually, really quickly, we didn't talk about Sean that much in this podcast, so let's just jump into what we think. We'll start with him for his merge perspective. Do we think he is definitely in good standing? Do you think he could be at risk, or do you think he is really dead in the water when we get to this merge? I'll start with you, Hunter.
I think that he is in a pretty good spot, at least at first. I don't think that if people are going to try to go for like a high profile target, I don't think it's going to be him first. I think it will be Stratton or Dylan before him. I think he has enough relationships, so I think for the time being, I think he's safe.
What do you think, Bella?
I think for at least next episode, I don't think he's going to be like, unless he does something crazy, which I don't imagine he will. I don't think everyone's going to I don't think he'll be an easy person to like just get rid of right away. There's other people ahead of him.
Yeah. And also to mention, he has 2 guys that are like right under him. Like he has 2 guys that'll fight for, like Chase and Stratton, I think, are 2 people that will like, if they hear Sean's name, they'll go right to Sean. So I definitely do think he has like insurance with players, and Abigail. Like he has a lot of people who will fight for him.
What do we think is Sean's best course of action for this next vote? Do we think he should be doing a certain thing? What's the best move for him? Anyone can jump in here.
I don't know. It's just,
I honestly,
sorry.
you go ahead.
I don't really know, because like I don't know what everyone's thinking at this point in the game. So as long as it's not him, I wouldn't I wouldn't have him do anything crazy like to one way or the other. Just kind of just go with the flow maybe for this next vote or so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I definitely think, I hate to say it, but if he takes so he'll be in a position, because I definitely do think the boys are with him. And so I think if he takes out another girl, it's one less person that has a chance to go for him.
Gotcha. Hunter, what do you think?
I think that if a scenario presents itself where he could keep Stratton, I think that would be ideal. But if there's too much momentum against Stratton, I think that he needs to jump on board with that and go with the group. Because even if his shield and Stratton goes out, I don't think that he's going to be targeted even next after that with the guys. I think if he can kind of stay hidden and just build relationships until the girls start to turn on each other, because there are quite a few girls who are like very big social and strategic threats, and I think that as they get closer or further down the line, people are going to realize that, and so I think that he is probably good for a while and just needs to kind of go with the flow for a bit.
All right, next up, Sarah. What do we think about Sarah? Let's give a minute to talk about Sarah. This episode has been so dominated by Sele. What do you think is Sarah's best play here? And do you think in this tribe she is safe, in a little danger, or dead in the water? You can start, Baylor. Yeah, go ahead. We'll go back to our order.
Okay, I think she's in a little bit of danger. I honestly think, she was at the bottom of Yara before the merge happens. Or at least I think she is. And so I definitely think that, I don't think she'll be the first to go next episode. I do think she isn't, at the top 3 people. She's in the top 4 people. Like, she is kind of like in the lower middle area. So I don't think she's in the best spot, but I also don't think she's going to go home next episode.
What do you think, Bella?
I pretty much agree. I think he is kind of at the bottom of VR right now, so he needs to either make do something to get better, like standing there, or make some new relationships so that she is a player that wouldn't just be like an easy vote come the merge.
Now that the merge is here, I think that she's in a really good spot. I think if Yara went back to travel, she definitely would have been at risk, but I don't think anyone's going to look at her right away. And I think she's like almost in a similar position as to what I was saying for Sean. Like, I think that she has some relationships and she has the potential to build more. That's what she's really, really good at. And I don't think that anyone's going to be viewing her as a big initial target. I think that there are easier boots, and I think that there are higher profile targets on either end of her. So I think that she's totally fine for now.
One thing I do want to see her do, though, is I do want to see her making moves, because I think she's the best. I think she's the best social player. She's very good at just talking to people, socializing. But I think her biggest weakness, especially last season, was just not making big moves. She didn't make huge strides. She definitely said she gave ideas on who she thinks should go, but I didn't ever see her strategically thinking who would be the next best person for me to go. And so I do want to start seeing her do that in the next upcoming episodes. And if she does that, I definitely do think she will be a huge threat to win.
All right, let's move on to Dylan.
Dylan, I honestly in a word spot. I think the girls on Sele will definitely kind of had bad blood with him, I think. But because they all voted him out, it's not a secret. So I definitely do think they might try and target Dylan next episode, now that I'm thinking about it. But honestly, I do think, like we've been saying, he will gravitate towards the boys, and so I do think he does have safety there.
What do you think, Bella?
Pretty much the same. Obviously, everyone tried to vote him out this episode, but with the merge coming, the guys, I assume they'll take him in. But if it ends up being girls versus guys, I could see a world where Stratton does end up going before him, but I don't know. It really, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell where everybody is at this point in the game.
I think Dylan's in danger. I think that his idle play, while necessary, obviously, is definitely going to put a bigger target on his back. I think for a while he kind of had like quieter, more chill, relaxed, like vibe going for him. But now he had to kind of break that to show that like he is a player. And I think that in combination with him being a winner could be something that really elevates his threat level to a point where he doesn't have much ability to control that.
All right, we're gonna speed through these next ones. We have Chloe.
Chloe, I think she's done a very amazing. Like she's Chloe. Like I love her. She's maybe this is my bias speaking, but I do think she's in a good spot. Especially she's the only person left in the game with an idol. So maybe other people find an idol, but right now she's in a very good spot to make big moves, and while staying under the radar.
I think Chloe's good. If I had to pick a person to be, I'd want to be her because she has an idol. She has the relationship. So yeah, I think she'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think she's in the best spot in the game. I don't think that anyone's going to be looking at her, but I think she has good relationships and is going to be able to build more. She has a secret idol that nobody knows about with the potential to make a big move with it. And so I think that she's not going anywhere. And my preseason prediction of Chloe winning is just getting stronger. I think she's in a great spot and will continue to be.
All right, Chase.
The one person we haven't been talking about, the most underrated player, Chase. I do think he is honestly like he's not in a bad spot. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like he doesn't have like much like strategy wise going for him, but like he's not in the worst spot. I don't see him going home anytime soon, especially because I don't think people see him as a threat. So he's in a good spot.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about him much. I think he's not gonna get voted out, but this just kind of makes me think more. He's gonna get carried to the end once again and be a final three go.
Yeah, like he's not going anywhere anytime soon, I don't think. But I also don't think he's going to win. So I'm sticking on the third place 0 vote finalist train for him.
All right, Abigail.
I kind of said this in the middle. Like I think she's in the best spot coming into this next episode. I think she's very good at just kind of keeping it on the down low and planting seeds and just giving her idea while not yelling it, kind of like Anna does. But yeah, I think she's definitely going to be able to gravitate both towards the girls on Yara, but also she's going to be in a better spot than the other girls in relation to the boys on Yara, if that makes sense. Because like, I think she just is. Because her sibling Sean, like she's going to be able to kind of have a pull over there as well.
I think she's safe. Like if we're doing safest on Sele, it would definitely be Abigail. Like she's fine. Similar position to Chloe for sure.
Yep, agreed. And we already talked about her. I think that's a good point, Bella. She's in a similar position to Chloe. I think Abigail's fine.
All right, Stratton.
I think he's actually, yeah, so this is in danger. I do think I see, especially now that it's the merge, like he's the only, even though Dylan's a winner, he's kind of the big threat winner is Stratton. So I do see people going for him because of that next episode.
Yeah, I think he's in some danger. He has the guy thing going for him, but we'll see how long that can last. And especially hearing the preview, what Ella Rose said, she's not going to be too like holding on to him, not scared to throw him under the bus. So yeah, that makes me think his time might be coming.
Yeah, I've underestimated Stratton before, and maybe I'm doing it again, but I think he's dead in the water. If I had to place my bet on a merge boot, it would be him. But he has shown that he can clutch out with immunity challenges. So there's a chance that he kind of maybe starts a run. We'll see.
All right, last but not least, Anna Cooper.
I don't have high thoughts on Anna, honestly, but at the same time, I also mentioned this, like, she keeps on staying. Like, people aren't going for her for some reason. I love her for that. I want her to stay. So, honestly, as much as I think she might be going home next episode, she'll probably stay. Who am I to judge?
Yeah. I definitely hope she stays because she's been very entertaining, but I'm not going to call her dead in the water, but she's definitely in some danger. In the danger zone.
I think that if she goes into the merge and kind of takes a breath and chills out a little bit and leans into her relationship with Abigail, and tries to reconnect with like Chloe, for example, I think that she has the potential to be in a very good spot. But if she gets scared or starts to run around, and like talk to a bunch of different people, I really think people could take anything that she does as like a reason to get rid of her if they feel like she is a wild card. And so I think if they get a taste of that, then they will go after her. But if she kind of like plays it cool, then she could be in a really good spot.
All right, last question before we head out here. Who is winning Survivor Palisades All-Stars? We've watched a third of the season now. We have 9 players left. Edgically, strategically, challenge-wise, relationship-based.
Chloe.
Who is winning Survivor Palisades All-Stars?
Definitely Chloe or Abigail and Chase. Definitely one of those 3.
Like logically Chloe, but I'm sticking with Ella Rose because that's what my heart wants. So I'm gonna say it.
I was thinking it would be so cool if Ella Rose took Stratton to the end again, and then she says like, "He beat me once. It's my turn to win. Like it's my chance." That would be so. I'm just fantasizing, but that would be.
Let's make a final 3 prediction really quick. Who's going to be that final 3?
That's really hard. I do think I agree. Like being over, I think Chase is going to make it to the end, and he's not going to get any votes. I think it's going to be Chase, Chloe, and I don't know. Like, let's say Chloe and Abigail Chase. That'd be fun.
What do you think, Bella?
I'm gonna go with Chase, but he's not gonna win. Chloe and then Ella Rose.
I'll say Chase and Chloe with third and first, and then Sarah second place.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to our third after show here. As I said, we're 1/3 of the way through the season, and wow, this has just been a blast. I'm so excited that we're doing this. And once again, no spoilers, but the next episode I think is another banger. I think it's so much fun to watch because as Hunter said, these people are so self-interested in like the best way in Survivor, and it is just so unbelievably competitive. From the challenge to the vote, every single thing in the next episode is all hands on deck, super hyper competitive, and just really fun to watch. So I'm really excited for that. You can tune into that next Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And in the meantime, you want some more Survivor, go check out Vanessa's exit interview. It is my favorite exit interview that I've done. Gage's exit interview was incredible, and Catalina's too, but like, damn, like Vanessa brings it every time, and she was just so fun to talk to. And I think you get a lot of insight too on what it was like being there and filming that day, and how easy it is to get sort of like enthralled in a certain idea and what it feels like to be playing a game when people are against you, because it's very complex, especially when you have such limited time to understand like the nuances of it. So thank you guys so much for joining our stream here today, and we will be back with you next Saturday to talk merge boot. So thank